Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sarah Allen, and you are on A Little Bit of Magic. And today I have a very special guest, Stephanie Grant, and she is a certified Enneagram practitioner. Stephanie, when I first met you, can I disclose that you are my patient?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a doctor.
Yes,
I am a doctor
yes.
of Chinese medicine, if you don't
I
know
love
that.
acupuncture.
And I
Yes.
do acupuncture, and Stephanie came to me for acupuncture.
Yeah.
And right away, I could tell she was, I was with her the first time. I could tell she was examining me a little bit. And then she was like, you really walk like a 7, or what you're saying is like a 7. And she's like, you have to take this test. It's the Enneagram. And I thought, I just sort of dismissed it because I thought, Enneagram, I can barely pronounce that.
True.
I didn't know anything about it, and I was very busy. I wasn't very interested. And the more I got to know you, Stephanie, the more I realized that you read me like nobody has ever read me before in a very short time. And it really drew me into learning more about it. And the more I got to know you through our treatments and how you described how I understand the world or how I navigate the world, I thought, wow, this is something I really want to learn, and I think it can be a benefit to so many. So, yes, it's true. And if I were ever going to recommend anybody to do practice Enneagram with, it would be with you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to learn about this today.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about, what is the Enneagram?
Enneagram.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, very.
Okay.
And you're right. When I first started studying the Enneagram about a dozen years ago, I wanted to call it Enneagram. Like, I wanted it to be a more elegant pronunciation, but it's Greek for 9 symbols. So Ennea is 9, and gram is symbol. So we think that the Enneagram is about 4,000 years old.
Really?
Yeah, we're seeing evidence of it in antiquity. It dates back to Pythagoras.
Wow.
So it is a numerical structure showing how what is revealed as 9 personalities interact. Borrow information from each other, how we grow, how we disintegrate when we're under a lot of pressure. So the Enneagram is not trying to put you in a box. The Enneagram is saying, we believe that you are surviving in this way. You have a primary fear, and the fear creates behavior. So if you can notice that, if you can understand that, perhaps the behavior does not run the whole show. So that's basically, we're teaching you what your type may be so that you know that you're not just your type.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
How did you first learn about it?
I went to a raw sales thing, being typical in my personality. All my friends were going. I wanted to be cool with them. About 10 or 12 years ago, my physician, a couple of other people, we went to it in Scottsdale, and this gentleman, who was clearly a 7, was very enthusiastic. They made you jump up and down, not my MO, but he mentioned the Enneagram. And so I was curious and went and looked up some information, felt this is home.
Right.
So it took me about 2.5 years to certify.
Okay.
They have institutes all over the world.
Oh, really?
I went to New York for most of my training. You would spend a week totally immersed in this, and I continue to, I'm in 2 classes right now to continue to, because it's rather complicated.
It is.
So, it is.
It's absolutely fascinating. How does it differ? When I tried to even describe it to other people, have you heard of the Enneagram?
No.
They say, well, is it like the Myers-Briggs, or there's so many personality tests that employers will give you that you have to fill out or to better understand yourself. How does it differ?
Primarily, its age is one thing. It has spiritual roots to it. So we're looking for an understanding of how we came into mortality. We don't tell you where you were before mortality, but we understand that personality is broader than just birth order, horoscope, your parental raising, your environment. There's something deeper about who you are and what you're really supposed to be. And how did we cover it up in order to survive? So the Enneagram is a little more complicated. I can see why Myers-Briggs and others have become very popular with companies because it's a one and done. We're gonna tell you a label but we don't give you a lot of information on how to expand that information and begin to let go of personality traits that maybe don't serve you as well, or keeping you behind, or causing you fear and anxiety. What is motivating you truly? So I think that's a big difference. It's a little more complex to go into the Enneagram. Having said that, there are about 25 to 30 major corporations all over the world, including Nike, Reebok, companies that use the Enneagram for in-depth understanding of who I'm working with, how do I function, how do families react within units, why am I not getting along with this person, why do I resonate with this person, so that you have a better understanding of how to retain the people that are working in that corporation, that sort of thing. So a lot of differences. I think depth is primary to me. Yeah.
How do you feel that it can help us in our lives, in our personal lives or business or anything? Or maybe even if you want to share how it's personally affected you.
Absolutely. I'm in a marriage, and it is not easy. Relationships are hard.
They are.
I have 4 children, and they are all different types, as we would say. And I would venture to say that a couple of us wouldn't even get along, and certainly have nothing to do with each other on a street one day if we weren't ending up in the same family. And it affords me the opportunity to know if a child or my adult children react in a certain way, it isn't about me. Like I'm soft. I know that they have a certain fear. I know what motivates them. Now that I'm not reading their mind, but I understand fundamentally what motivates my children. And then I don't take things personally. I don't feel bad. I don't go, woe is me. I understand that they are working through their own journey. But I have more than that. I have more, how are they working through that journey on a baseline there. So so I think less anger, more understanding, more compassion. Yes. And more, it doesn't always make us closer. It takes time to do that, but certainly there's not you did this to me, or there's none of that, because they're just surviving just like I am.
Right.
So I think, building some closeness and having relationships endure where they may end sooner because we didn't have that understanding. So I think I can't even imagine navigating the world or my relationships without it. How do you have children and not understand what is affecting them?
Well, I remember you would refer to your children by
their type. I know, I'm sorry. And it bothers them so much.
He's a 6 or she's a 2. No,
but that tells me everything. That says everything beyond a name. The name is irrelevant. How they're surviving in the world. That's important information.
Well, you just live and breathe it. That's how I could tell how passionate you are about the Enneagram. It is really a very integral part of your life and how you navigate the world. I mean, that's what sold me. You really embody this in your life, and that was so evident.
Yeah, I don't go to the grocery store and see a woman angry and not think, where is that coming from, rather than just being angry that this woman's disturbing the peace in the middle of Safeway, or having a difficult time with her child, and how much I would want her to know this is why this child is behaving this way. This is what's difficult for them, which is not the same as what's difficult for you.
It's hard for me to understand, how is it just the way are you born with this, or is it the experiences that you've had environmentally that shape?
No. Okay. So the Enneagram does believe that you come into mortality with this fundamental personality. The minute we are disconnected from wherever or whatever we are experiencing before, we feel a sense of loss, fear. We're no longer in touch with what is really, for lack of a better word, divine about us. And we cover it up with survival, and that's ego.
Okay.
So if I can teach you, this is what your ego is telling you, you will be okay if you're in control all the time, as the 8s have learned.
Okay.
Or you will be okay if everybody supports you and you're uber responsible, like the 6 believes. So if you know that, and that's false information, and it's keeping you in a rotation, a circle of behavior and feelings and fear, lack of trust, whatever that is for your particular type. Not that we're one-dimensional. I have all types working within. I'm a very multi-dimensional person, but primarily I'm surviving within my basic type.
I mean, the Enneagram, I think for many might seem very esoteric.
I would think, yeah.
But what I really had the pleasure of doing was taking the Enneagram.
Yes.
I took the evaluation, or so to speak, or the test.
Yes.
To determine for sure.
Yes.
What my type is.
Which you did.
Right, and I did. And that was a very fun, and it was a quick, relatively
half hour,
30 minutes
on an airplane.
And we have my results, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we do. And so when I first met you the first few times, I thought, that's a 7. I can hear you. And it isn't good to guess, but, this is a very intimate situation to have somebody healing you.
Yeah.
And then it felt like a connection. So yes, after about the 3rd or 4th time, I said, yeah, you're pretty much acting like a 7. Very, very busy. You have a lot going on.
Yeah.
You are enthusiast. You see the world in a pretty optimistic way. But interesting in that second position for an Enneagram type is the 3, which influences you heavy. And that is a more logical, a little more feet on the ground, because the 7's flying.
Yeah.
My feet are off the ground. I'm looking for the next adventure, which you are.
Yeah.
And I'm a very quick learner. 7s are extremely good at absorbing information and taking it and run. You're not mastering it, but you like learning a little bit more about this and this. And then how is it integral to each other? But the 3 is also looking to be successful and in my field, in whatever I do. And getting it right, competitive. Oh, yeah. A highly competitive person, mostly with yourself.
Yeah.
How can I ramp that up? How can I get that a little bit better? You walk away from a situation in your life and then you go, okay, how can I redo some things and get that a little bit better? That's important to you. So it can cause you to undo a project that you've just finished so that you can do it better. But it gives you a nice logical foundation. And when you take the full Enneagram test from the Institute, they'll give you those top 3, all of them really, but the top 3. And then you're in your 3rd position. Lovely is your integration. So 7s have a hard time sitting still.
Yeah, it's so true.
I'm going. And your 3rd position is the 5, your integration, which shows the level of growth in your life and the healing and the ability to just say, I'm observing right now. I don't have to be moving every second. You know how to be grounded. You know how to put your feet on the floor. Now you might not stay there all day, but you've learned a lot of that. And so what a nice proof of how much your healing to others has also healed you.
Yeah.
So that's really beautiful, but how interesting to have that 3. You just get things done. A lot of things done. And you may even feel more comfortable with the more things you have to get done in a short amount of time.
So true.
Woo!
That's so true. Like I'm in the process of a move right now.
Yes.
Boy, the more you pile it on,
the
more I get up.
Absolutely.
3 and I go until I just like
totally. Your whole face is radiant with the energy that you're getting to eat on right now. And that's both of those.
It's so true.
And also equally important is the ones that are low. So, as in my test, our lowest score is a peacemaker. It isn't fundamentally what we do. We're going to speak a truth if we need to. We're going to make something right if we need to. And the peacemaker tends to hold back.
And you're the peacemaker.
I am not.
Who's a peacemaker? Am I a peacemaker?
No, both you and I on our tests have a low peacemaking score.
Oh, okay.
at the bottom.
We better never get no.
I know. No. I mean, you're willing to go to battle. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And the peacemaker sometimes holds back.
Oh,
and not always willing to do that.
Right.
That's
can we hard.
Yes. But it's also a good place of faith.
Yeah.
And so can we put a little energy into, looking at those qualities that the 9 has? So your test also shows you where you may be a little deficit, where you could borrow some of those wonderful qualities and emulate that a little bit.
So even though that I'm not a good peacemaker, I could become one if I put my mind to it?
Well, you wouldn't change type. You do not change type.
Right.
But you could notice, wow, those peacemakers really know how to rest.
Yeah.
And I don't. So I wouldn't mind learning, that quality of just saying, just floating with the river,
right,
for a afternoon.
Can you tell me, with my Enneagram, like who I'm compatible with, like romantically or business way or friends, or do 7s stick together? Or
they often do. I cannot, the missionaries will ask me that all the time because we teach them a lot, but we don't, so I won't tell them, go find this. The universe has a way of sending when you're ready,
right,
that kind of companionship. Often we end up with someone who is our opposite, as I did, or on my line. So he's my disintegration, I'm his integration. But often sevens are not prone to hooking up with somebody that is not optimistic like they are, or not busy as much. But I have seen relationships between 7s and 5s, because
and what's a 5?
A 5 is the observer.
Oh,
it's third in your ranking here.
Okay.
So the 5 is able to observe. You take this person out into the adventures of the wild blue, but the 5 also grounds you and gives you a home space to be at and relax and observe and rest a little bit. So I will see that. But often 7s will go, oh, hey, let's get together and we're going to have a lot of fun in our life, but we might not talk about our problems often enough. So when you're not looking for the ideal match. Once you find someone that you relate to, now the Enneagram will help you know, okay, here's some really strong characteristics that are going to make this work beautifully. And here are some challenges in your relationship that you might want to keep an eye on and be observant of. So
it's amazing they figured this out.
It's amazing.
Just like acupuncture, how they figured out. But I mean, how did they figure this out?
But they did. And in the beginning, the Enneagram was monastic. So monks, and this is all pretty Middle Eastern. So a lot of Sufi Muslim, there's a lot of key components, because we're talking about the cradle of civilization over there. It didn't start in America, for sure. And so a lot of that was held back from the public. They were going to sully it. So, they gave strength to just holding on to it. But more and more people heard about this fantastic tool. It's not the end all. It doesn't supplant your own personal spiritual journey, but it is a tool to be used for better understanding, and has some components of a depth there that can't be ignored. And then the people I learned under had already studied under Gurdjieff and a couple of other holy men, educated men, that saw this pattern that existed. It took about 11 years. He said about 50,000 sticky notes on the wall. No, that doesn't match. No. And we're very in touch with their own depthful spirituality and asking the questions. And then waiting for the answers to kind of arise. So they didn't create it, but they wanted it to be obtainable. They wanted you to be able to get information printed out and go, oh, I could see that I do that. Maybe I don't need to do that next time I'm in that situation.
Are they using this widely in Greece now? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if that's every year, or
yes, and every year Russ Hudson, who I learned under, the book is The Wisdom of the Enneagram. He takes a group back to Egypt. Every year they do a huge sabbatical, and I'd love to go to that.
Oh, you need to go.
I know I
You
need to go. I know.
I
My 7 wings going, yes, go before you're too old to go.
You have to go.
I know.
I mean, you were born to do this, honestly.
Totally. So, yeah. So some really interesting, and there are a lot of other modalities that meet with huge conferences that include other forms of looking at the diamond approach, that kind of thing. How do we look at personality and where we're stuck?
Okay.
How do we get unstuck? So
okay.
that involve the Enneagram.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going back to me. So
yes. Yes,
because
you're here. This is a very physical thing.
But I just, it feels so good to be validated, you know, like when you understand yourself and it's like, oh, this makes sense. This is why I act this way. Or it tells me, like, can you give me more advice about like what kind of career I should be in or what kind of things I should be doing with my life? Does it give you direction in that sense?
In a way.
Okay.
Yes. It also gives you the names of people that are 7s like you.
Oh, really?
And you could see what pattern they've kind of fall into in their lifetime. But I would say 7s don't need instruction necessarily on what to do for a living because they're going to do everything.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's true. And so you're going to be good at whatever you do, and you're going to learn from it. I think it's important that I think you have to be more, obviously, you're more than just a salesman. There's a lot of good salesmen, 7s, but you're bringing a light to people. So I wouldn't worry about that part. What 7s incorporate in their lives in order to feel more grounded, you do a lot of, but it's never a bad thing to tell a 7, even as enlightened as you are, and I know that you are, is to slow down or give up something. Yeah. There's something that you go, I'm not going to do that right now. I may reincorporate that into my life down the road, but right now I have a lot going on. And to pay attention to your body, and we were talking about this when you got your injury, is that sometimes we fall into that as the way of the body going, that's enough. I know. You have to stop for a bit.
That's so true.
It's so true. I've done it.
I run so fast and I run so hard. And
me too.
And when I recently got injured, it made me slow down. And I really said to myself, boy, you know, I had to slow down where I interacted with people differently.
Yes.
I saw the world differently. I saw the world more, you know, and I thought, boy, you know, when you're injured, it changes your perception of the world. And I thought, this is not such a bad thing to be injured because, you know, that it allows you, it forces you to stop.
It does. If you're paying attention, which you are, that's all the Enneagram is asking. That's all any growth is, just observe this, pay attention to it, notice for a second. They teach, one of the teachers I'm working with right now, he says, I just want you to, so I do it 2 or 3 times a day, focus on something outside. So I may look at the tree and I just look at the tree for 10 seconds. That's all I do. Look at the tree, nothing beyond it. Then move your focus. Now look at everything around it. The tree teaches you how hyper fixated you are on the busyness of your life. And then when you're looking around, everything, you'll notice your body goes, oh, okay. And pay attention to your body. So the other is that, you know, we're putting our feet on the ground, and it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. Some meditation practices believe that you should sit there for a half hour. I don't. Right. It's more of some breath, you know, the 5 in, the 5 out, the 5 in, 5 out, and noticing your feet. We go through most of our life not even noticing our toes. Yeah. So feeling all of that, 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Okay, now you can go back to running, you know, 90 miles an hour. Then do that 5 times a day. Everything changes. I don't think there's any pain, no pain, that doesn't benefit you in some way.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's radical. Yeah. But it's true. We're busy in America trying to get rid of pain. And you should treat your pain. But pain has something to tell you. Right. So what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's different for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about the 7s I should know?
Yeah. Slow down. People enjoy your joy, but and you're a little, like, even though you're new to the Enneagram, you're not new to healing. So people can mistake you for being so busy that you don't want to hear people's problems. You know what I mean? You don't sit on your problems very long. You don't wallow. I'm not sitting still and going, oh, wow, that's such a, you're filling your moments. So the longer you can tolerate your own emotional pain, because your biggest fear is getting stuck in your pain. The 7's primary fear is I'm going to get stuck in my pain and I'm going to be deprived of whatever that is. Shoes, trips. I don't know what your deprivation feels like. A decent car. What is that? So I'm fearful of that. So I'm going to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. So anytime you stop for the shortest amount of time is healing for you. And then it'll pile up. It'll pile up, that ability to tolerate inactivity. Yeah. Inactivity. Because I'll have a 7 go, well, I sat in my room and I watched a good movie or I listened to some good music. Doesn't count. Your brain has to go, I'm good with nothing right now. I'm good with no decisions, no looking forward. That's difficult. Very difficult. You're in a moment and already thinking about the next moment. So true. Yeah. Present is, but you preach that. That's what your healing is about, is that present. But it's easier to heal others than it is ourselves. What number are you? I am a 6 loyalist. I have a 7 wing, so I really love that energy. And it makes me feel good to be with somebody that not only endorses me, because I'm looking for endorsement. I'm not looking for love and affection. That's not the same. I'm not looking for hugs and kisses and, oh, you're the rock star. I'm looking for support. Oh, you got that. Wow. It sounds like you really know that. That validation is strong. I have my primary fear is, I just have no faith. You can tell me something and I'll go, yeah. And then no, she doesn't mean that. So I work a lot on faith and accepting things as they're said. And, so yeah, I'm extremely loyal, uber responsible. That's how I cope with that fear. If I'm uber responsible, you're going to think, okay, she's good. I can support that. Everybody loves somebody that will get the job done. Yeah. But why am I doing it? So what you're doing isn't wrong, but sometimes our why is a fixation. Okay. So yeah, but I am not in the optimistic group. I am not. I am a skeptic. No. I could use a little this is not going to go well. Yeah. No. Yeah. The rose-colored glasses. Let me tell you the future in my own way. Yeah, it's not good. Stephanie, and I'd like to tell the audience, if they were going to work with you, because I know that you offer classes, and I'd like you to describe what it would be like if someone would work with you, how it can help them, and what the process would be. So it depends on your situation. If I'm holding a class, maybe it's the introduction to the Enneagram. So you're coming just to learn what the heck is this about for 2.5 hours. So it's a class. It's a class. It may be at the library. No, in person is much better. Is it one-on-one or is it group class? It'll be a group class, but I also do one-on-one or families. So my physician, for instance, I went over, taught her whole family. Then I did one-on-one with her teenagers. Oh. Because teenage hard time. This seems almost better than therapy. So the whole, yes, then the whole family could go, oh, yeah, okay. And I remember teaching an 8, was her oldest, and very, very disruptive in the household. Lots of arguments, and they're bold and they're outspoken and don't tell me what to do. And I remember meeting with her the first time with the family initially. And she kind of backed away from me, got behind the couch, and she looked at me and she goes, I am seen. I said, you're seen. Yeah, that's right. You're seen. So that's a start, right? Not only is she seen, she sees. Yeah. Now I'm not bad. I'm not disruptive. I'm who I am. And this is why I'm doing what I do. I see a light go on in somebody's eyes and I know, oh yeah.
Wow.
But they know that's more important. They know, they go, oh, okay. And then the work begins. I love what Russ Hudson says. He's always saying, can't unsee it now. Can't unsee it now. And isn't that marvelous? So you may not dive in completely. You know, once in a while I'll go teach something like COCC and have a string of classes. We've been up to the prison. We like do 6 weeks in a row with the men at the prison in Madras, and then they graduate. So yeah, so we're learning wings and that type of thing.
Does it help the
yes,
inmates?
and you'd be surprised how many know what it is.
Really?
So yeah, we talk about what got them there. What behaviors were serving their fear? Because the fear becomes the God now. The fear becomes the motivating energy behind all of my decisions, all of my relationships. And once I see that, I've already begun to let that go a tad.
Well, there's so much turmoil in the world right now. Do you feel the Enneagram can help the world at large?
Yes, absolutely. And
or culturally, politically.
Yes, culturally. Well, countries tend to be a primary type.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
America is primarily a 7-3 type.
Yeah.
So you're right at home. Where's the next adventure? We can move around a lot. We have tremendous freedom to do that in this country. We're also honor success. In fact, we really put it on a pedestal, our own version of what success is, which usually means being seen. Look at the Oscars, Hollywood, all of that, and money attached to money. Not always, but a lot. And those aren't always the best markers for what success is. What is really success? Where the Japanese are primarily a 1 society, very organized, very clean, very what is good for the group. So the dynamic there is restrictive, a little more narrow. They're also very unhappy because there's a lot of expectation to fall into that category. And their disintegration is to the 4. And so you've got all this play acting, role play, anime, costumes, where we're going to take a break from being a perfectionist society, and their youth are more, I'm going to dress up as somebody else and not be that for a while. So countries tend to, but if right now in our current any political, we're not special right now. We've been doing this for 250 years. If I understood that this leader was coming from this place, you cannot leave your ego home. Your ego goes with you everywhere. You are always serving that. So from the President of the United States to every member of Congress, why? Imagine if they all came in the room and understood, oh, well, that's where he's coming from. I can see that. It's not about me. I'm not an enemy. But he sees the world in a different way, or she does. So, yes. Imagine that.
That's fascinating. Wow. Right. Yeah.
What? so I tune into that.
Yeah. And do you do online teaching as well?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Because I can see, this is going to go out to the world and people might not be able to come to
Right. I'm in a class with 400 people right now, learning a piece of the Enneagram. We're learning the instinctual stack. The dominance that you serve, your variant. So self-preservation, social, and they're from all over the world. Bahrain. I mean, there's people all over the world attending this class. So yes, Zoom is a great tool.
Okay.
So yes, we have Zoom classes once in a while.
How can people find you to work with you?
So I have a website.
Okay.
Also really email me.
Okay.
So my email is dedicated to
What is your email?
It is stephanie.grant1, the number 1, at iCloud.com.
Okay. And we'll put that in the comments as well, and your website. And I also would love to, this has been so much fun, and I would love to get together again.
So glad I met you.
I know. I am too.
I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, Stephanie.
I'm coming to see you. Yeah, she's awesome. Just awesome.
We're going to do another video.
Okay.
Follow up And so if you have questions, please.
We'd love to answer them.
We would love to answer them.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm sure you have many, and you probably wonder what number you are.
Yeah.
So you can work with Stephanie directly, or you can field your questions to us, and then we will have another.
We'll answer.
We're going to
totally.
We'll have another episode to follow up.
That's exciting.
Yes.
You never know how it'll change your life. It does.
It does. Okay.
It does.
Any last words or comments, Stephanie?
No, thank you very much. I've enjoyed this. Wonderful.
Yeah, you're so eloquent and so knowledgeable and
Thank
so passionate,
you.
and you just embody, you live and breathe it. So this is who you want to
Can't unsee it now. So, yeah. Okay. Wonderful.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And
thank you.
Yeah, you've been a little bit of magic. This is magic. Right?
Yes,
Really magic.
Yes, it is.